This was a study of the administration of lenalidomide as in the real world. It was a study by the Greek myeloma study group. And we wanted to know how the doctors are using lenalidomide in the second line treatment. When I say how the doctors use the drug, mainly when they start therapy. Because you know that in the myeloma community there is a big issue when to start treatment of myeloma. Can we start treatment in biochemical relapse, or what type of biochemical relapse? Can we start treatment only when a patient has clinical relapse, meaning CRAB criteria? And because of that, it was very important for us to see how the doctors in Greece react in the second line using lenalidomide and dexamethasone. So we've seen that approximately 40% of the patients are receiving at least lenalidomide and dexamethasone at the biochemical relapse, and the other 60% in clinical relapse. The important issue was that we found that those who had received the drug at biochemical relapse had a median PFS of approximately 24 months, much higher than that reported in the lenalidomide and dexamethasone studies, where the other patients in clinical relapse had 14 months of median PFS, which is what you expect with lenalidomide and dexamethasone in the relapsed refractory setting as second line based on the registrational studies. So, of course, this cannot give you an answer that the patient has to be treated at biochemical relapse, because someone can tell you that these 10 months of difference may be the time that the biochemical relapse needs in order to become a clinical relapse. So this study cannot give you this answer, but definitely it can give us the answer of what's happening in the big trials, where lenalidomide and dexamethasone is the comparator arm. And you can see, for example, in a study where ixazomib was combined with lenalidomide and dexamethasone versus lenalidomide and dexamethasone, that in that study, lenalidomide and dexamethasone had a median PFS of 14.5 months, compared to the POLLUX study, for example, which is daratumumab, lenalidomide and dexamethasone versus lenalidomide and dexamethasone. In this study, lenalidomide and dexamethasone arm had a median PFS of approximately 18 months. So these 3-4 months of difference may be explained by the different phase of the disease when the patients, or the relapsed patients, entered into this study. I mean that probably one study had more patients at biochemical relapse compared to the others. So our study does not support to start treatment at biochemical relapse. This was not our aim. Our aim was to see how the doctors in Greece treat patients with multiple myeloma at second relapse with lenalidomide. But definitely we can say that if such a patient is entered into a clinical trial, the results that you can have at biochemical relapse are better.